side?
No.
Or are you simply trying to port that J2ME client to multiple platforms like BlackBerry and Android and so on?
Correct.
Second one. So then this is not meant to be. This is not meant to be a platform conversion utility.
Okay.
So you can take a J2ME app and install it magically on Android or on iPhone and make it work. This is not the intent of this platform. Okay? But the intent of the platform is if you have a website or an offline presence, you want to go mobile, you need to go to your application. You want to go create a website. You can create it easily using Blueprint. You already have a Java app, so there's no value here. Right? But once you create Blueprint, the Blueprint site, we can include you in the Yahoo gallery. So for your problem, I think this is less a technical thing. We can give you more distribution because you already have a J2ME application.
Okay. If you have apps like then it will run support in all the mobile phone, right? It is going. They need to go to the browser and just type.
You type whatever URL, your URL, right? m.google.whatever.com. Thank you.
I myself have a question. I think from an approach point of view, the Blueprint platform looks at it from a business angle as well as a technical angle. So I think that's a good approach because it tries to solve the problem of discoverability and also monetization. But from a technical point of view, how much is the fragmentation problem getting solved? Because while I was watching the presentation at the high level, it looked like it is solving a lot. But during the Q&A, when we get into the specifics of WML, XHTML, how much of it actually solves the problem of fragmentation? Does it, and how does it compare with other approaches that are really solving this problem? For instance, if you're talking about in the WML world, how does it compare with Würfel for PHP, or how does it compare with HAW framework? And if you're talking about in the J2ME world, then how does it compare with J2ME Polish in terms of solving the fragmentation problem at a technical level?
So from fragmentation perspective, why don't you tell me what does it take for you to build a website?
I'm sorry?
What does it take for you today to build your own website? What kind of engineering skill set, what platform, do you have to worry about how will it look on certain devices and screen sizes and memory? You have to worry about all of those elements. So for me, that's fragmentation. Fragmentation is if I have to build a website and it takes me a lot of time and effort to A, build it, B, figure out principally work on all of these devices across all of these screens in the right fashion. That's fragmentation. That's a lot of effort. What this does is it breaks down the fragmentation and says, you give us XML, we render it for you.
Okay,
you don't have to worry about thinking, is this Sony Ericsson device, right? Or is this a 360? And should I write on C++? Should I use some other platform?
Well, if you're doing the developer talk, we'd go one step further and then say, it's a Sony Ericsson device, good, but it's a WML 2.0 browser, or it's a WML 1.1, and it supports XHTML 1.0 or something like that. So, so if I ask from that point of view, what are the, browser specification does this support? And, what are the various versions of J2ME, MIDP, CLDC, and also, the different variations of the implementation of the MIDPs and the CDLCs, does the platform support?
Yes, we have that. We can give that.
Okay, so the question is, does it solve a 80%?
The answer is that it's not nirvana, right? So if you take every technology over the last 10 years, it's really not nirvana over all of that. But it clearly is a will once to reach the broadest audience today. That's the strategy. I mean, I told right off the bat that this will not work with WML. Because when we look at the traffic, mobile data traffic in India, we think about 85%, 90% is already past WML. It's XHTML or higher, right? So we will never develop something for WML, as an example. Right? So if you tell me this doesn't solve the WML fragmentation problem, yes it doesn't. But for us, we're looking at the 80-20 rule. How do we solve the majority of the problem for most people out there than worrying about every single edge?
Is that so that 80% of the traffic is
Yeah, absolutely. At least that's what we see. we see that over 80% of the traffic that comes to portals like Yahoo is from XHTML and HTML browsers, not from WML.
Yeah, this is with regards to the financial aspect of the ad thing and ad revenue. So you said you prefer to have Yahoo ads coming through with regards to whatever application or website that is being built. The developer has to leave some space for the Yahoo ad to come in, right?
Right now we give you the choice. The choice is if you don't want to put an ad, that's fine, don't put it. But if you'd like to put it, then please look at us.
Okay, and is that revenue going to be shared with the developer or is it strictly going to be?
We can share the revenue.
Okay, and what if the developer wants to put in ads of his own? Not from any other third party like Google or any other
Yeah, your own
Yeah.
in-house ads, your own
Yeah.
product. You can.
You can. So all that is allowed and it's not against the whole.
So it's not against. I mean, I think that if you want to make money, and if you want an external advertising partner, then various things available so that we can be the partner. So that's the intent that we
So is it must external partner is a must see Yahoo or I can go with Google also? Is there any let's say people say that I should not go with Google or I should go only with Yahoo for the advertisement?
No, there isn't right now. I mean, if you look at terms of service, we don't really force you to do anything because ultimately this is part of our open initiative. Right? And any open initiative, you don't really want to force people. But if you talk to business development guys and want to do a deal with us, then they'll probably say, use Yahoo ad engine and we'll rush it.
So this will be the second last question.
Okay.
Myself, Keshav, I'm part of the new solution. I just want to know about more comparing with, have you heard of the Movie Top? The same.
Movie Top.
Yeah, Movie Top actually, they have a similar product actually. Have you heard of the App Coach?
What?
App Coach. Okay, they give you, you can develop it a Visual Basic, you can put it in across all the mobiles. So the best part is they give it, you can make it standard applications. So you can compare it.
What Java application? Whatever.
No, you can write an application in any language, like you can write it in Visual Basic, you can write it in C++, or you can write it in PHP. Only thing is, you just give it to them to convert and run application in this thing. So how do you compare with those Movie Top or the?
I don't really know the solution, so I can't really compare. All I can say is that I don't think the market is looking at what are the startups doing. The market is looking at what are the advertisers and publishers telling us. So Yahoo's perspective is not let's develop a good thing. Right? Yahoo's perspective is the advertiser is saying that more advertising is cool, but there isn't enough content out there. Publishers saying, well, it's too difficult to get that content on mobile, it's too difficult, too much fragmentation, I don't have the expertise. Right? So our solution is, okay, we have the advertisers, we have partners already. We work with publishers to ingest the content into Yahoo in our overall project. We said we work with both of you to bring the solution to bear.
Okay, my one last question is, what are the chances of providing it for the standard application? I know the rendering thing and everything happens at your, what I say, in a native server, right? So how about providing a small tool inside the mobile, very friendless? Okay, so that actually I can write standard applications, right? If I want to write a game application or something.
So this is the standalone aspect. We will give it the capability soon. You have a standalone Java app.
Yeah, actually that's the question. If somebody asks whether he can write it, can it convert to the Java app? You said no.
One is, can I write blueprints